Hi and welcome back. My name's Ian. I'm just another board gamer, and today I want to have a look at the game Sea of Plunder, designed by Rusty Lumpkin and published by Three Nail Games. The art is by Lynn Morrow. Now this game on the box says it's for 10 and up, 2 to 4 players, and plays in about 30 to 60 minutes. And I found that that's pretty much accurate, the 30 to 60 minutes. I think that's a good representation. 10 and up, you could probably play with, depending on the child or on you're looking at maybe 8, 9, I would say. I don't think you necessarily have to wait till 10. It's a pretty straightforward family game. So what are we doing in this game? Well, let's look at the component overview first of all, because this isn't actually a rules overview. This is just a component overview. So the rule book I found was pretty clear and concise with regards to how to set up the game turn, the phases within in the turns, what you can do, how you move. And I thought the examples were quite good. Here it explains, in this case, a magical compass, how that works. Final scoring. Yeah, so I thought the rule book was quite easy to understand and straightforward. And it has a couple of variants. There's a 2-player variant, so when playing with 2 players, there's a little sort of a change up with the rule. There's a random setup variant, which I'll talk about, and there's a combo port island module, which I'll also mention. And then you can see here, they've got the card list. So every card in the game is listed and explains it. And then on the back, it's got frequently asked questions. Well, 3 of the most common that came up in playtesting, I guess, and the answers to them. And you might be thinking, well, what's the fact doing here? Maybe it should be a player reference, but you don't have to worry about it, and I'll explain why in a minute. So, like I said, we are in the endless seas. We are treasure hunting merchants, represented by one of these colored ships. We're trying to find the treasure island to get gold. We're trying to sail to the islands to collect goods for a sort of a set collection aspect to the game, all the while staying one step ahead of the pirates, who, if we bump into or come in contact with us, will basically, for end of game purposes, give you a negative point. Oh, look, this pirate's sinking. No, this one too. So let's have a look at these ships. So here's the green one. And if you'll notice, all the ships are a different shape. This could probably be the galleon class. The orange one, I would say, is a little fast schooner. And the blue one looks like a Viking ship almost. So that was a nice touch that each of the ships were not just a different color, but a different shape. The pirate ships are all the same, however, which that's fine. All right, so we know we're treasure hunting merchants. We know we have our ship. So now we get to pick the captain. You need your captain. And so the game comes with 8 cards to represent 8 different captains. So here we've got the gambler, the thief, the navigator, the strategist, the scallywag, Odd John, always a favorite uncle, Lucky Jill, and back to the smuggler. And the cool thing about them is, on the other side, is the other version. So, male, female. And that's for every character. So there's the male version of the gambler. There's the female version of the thief. The navigator. The strategist. the scallywag. Odd John, and now you've got your favorite aunt, Odd Jane. There's Lucky Jack. So that's a cool. A lot of games are starting to do that these days, is where they add the different gender on the back, or they give you the option to either be male or female. So I think anything to be more inclusive is fantastic. So you've picked your captain. Now, as mentioned a second ago, when talking about the rule book, you were saying, where's your reference sheet? Well, every player, so there's 4 of these for each color, gets their own reference card. And so it tells you your turn, what you can do on your turn, and the end game triggers. And the cool thing, again, on the back of these cards, they're dual-sided, on the back is the possible interactions that you can have during the game. So, for example, if you pass over a treasure island, what happens? If you land on a treasure island, what happens? If you come into contact with a port island, or if you come into contact with a pirate. So you don't have to go through the rule book to look up something. You've just got your own handy card, which shows that what you can do on your turn, end the game, and the possible interactions throughout the game. All right, so we've got our captain. He wants to sail. He wants to bring him that horizon. Something like that, whatever, Jack. So you've got these map cards. And the cards, they all actually have this back to them. And the cards are pretty decent quality. So here you can see there's your ship, and this tells you how you can move. So you'll start your turn here, and you'll end it here in a zigzag pattern. And how you know in this case you're going south, is this compass basically always matches up with that compass. And I'll explain how you can manipulate that in a bit. But you get all these map cards with different ways to move your ship. So that's how you move your ship around. And this is also how you'll move the pirates, because in your turn, basically you have your turn, and then you have a discard phase. The discard phase isn't just getting rid of something for the sake of getting rid of something. It actually, when you discard a card here, for example, this is how you'll also move the pirate, or one of the pirate ships of your choice. So we're sailing around. We're trying to get to these islands, and so the cards have there's island cards. So there's Rabican, Gracio, Morosa, Iseria. And like I said, I like the art. I think the art is very family-friendly art, very whimsical, very nice, actually. And on these islands, you can get goods. So each of the islands has a different type of good, like vegetables. In Morosa, some cloth. At Gracio, some weaponry. At Rabican, and why not some bottles of rum in Iseria. Yo-ho-ho and all that. And while you're out and about, there's going to be action cards, and the action cards have a blue border, and they'll have a specific thing that happens on them. Like, for example, if you play this card on your turn, you can move all other players according to your discard. Or if you play so close yet so far, you can move up to 2 treasure islands according to your discard. So you have action cards, and there's quite a few actions in the game, and they can be played. Another card that could happen is the event cards, and they're with a red border. And so they can be good or bad. So, for example, cargo adrift. Each player draws 1 card randomly from the hand of the person on their right. Or the magical compass. Each player receives a magical compass token. So those are the cards in the game. And since we were talking about magical compasses, this is a magical compass token. Just a cardboard token. And this is what manipulates that, or I should say, the compass on your map card. So this allows you basically to, so here if you you could only just go south all the time with this card. If you have a magical compass, it allows you to rotate this card 90 degrees. So you could play it that way, so that way now you could go west, or you could play it that way, or you could go north, or you could play it that way, and your boat could go east. So again, the magical compass allows you to manipulate the compass. You can never do 45 degrees, it always has to be 90 degrees. So that's what the magical compass token does. When you come in contact with the pirates, like I said before, they're going to give you negative points at the end of the game. Basically, thematically, you come in contact with a pirate, there's a little bit of a skirmish, you can either bribe them if you have a good on your boat already, you can pay them off. If you don't, they're going to damage your boat a little bit, you got to limp back to port and fix your sails or whatever it is, and this is represented by this token. And here's the gold token that everyone's after. So those are the main tokens in the game. I talked about this token in the rulebook, where the module where you could place this island out, which has every good on it, and so there's this token to add a little bit of variability to the, or not variability, but maybe a little bit easier. You could travel to this island and pick whatever good you want. So when you discover a treasure island, the island will disappear. It's been discovered. So so the game comes with dice, and these dice allow you to place another treasure island out on the board for you to go search and find. And the dice are actually, I really like the dice. They're very vibrant, very colorful. Very again, like whimsical writing and numbers on them. It's a 14-side dice. And so what you'll do is you'll roll. Let's put that on the board there. So here we have L10. So we would put the treasure island on there's 10, and we look for L. There's L and 10. And that's where the next treasure island will be. And we have to sail to that one. Now this is a 14-sided dice, and you're thinking, well, there's only 13 numbers. Well, the 14th side is a skull. And where is it? Here. There's a skull on that one there too. So when you roll a skull, obviously you won't be able to place a treasure island. What that means is one of the pirates get gold. And again, if they get a certain amount of gold, it's a game end trigger. So the dice, they're engraved. They're not like stickers or anything, so should hold up quite well. Like I said, they're quite vibrant. I like them. The board on the top, it has a lot of information available for you. Like you've got your turn order cards, your possible interaction on the other side of those cards, and on the board you've got the points for the game, how you collect points. So end of the game, you'll have a magic compass still left in your hand, then there's 1 point. If you have these negative debt tokens, minus 1 point. If you have a gold, they're worth 3 points. Set collection, again, if you have like 1 green good, it's worth 0. If you have 2 green goods, it's worth 0. But if you have because they're the same, it's all about collecting different ones. So you just can't keep hitting the same port over and over again trying to get points. No, you have to travel around the endless seas to gain different goods to to maximize your points. So if you ended up with 2 different goods, you'd get 3 points. If you ended up with 4 different goods, you'd get 8 points. Again, this isn't a rules overview. Rusty Lumpkin did a rules explanation, which is very good, and I recommend you watching that. So like I mentioned in the rulebook, there was a random variant setup. So this was like basically side A, or the first side, or the side of the board you would play on your first game, as the islands are already placed out on the board. On the other side, let's get all this off. you can see it's a blank map, and here you're going to have these island tokens, and you'll place them out on the board, whether by dice or if you just want to place them out randomly. And that's about it for the component overview. It's a fairly small box game. It's not particularly big compared to modern board game sizes. I'm looking at Thea Tournament of Resurrection, or whatever it's called. That's like a huge box. But no, again, I think this is quite a good family game. And I'm looking at my shelf, and I've got quite a few pirate games. You know, I've got Black Fleet, I've got Extraordinary Adventures Pirates, I've got Treasure Island. So I think this is a good fit. It's a great, I think it's quite a good family game. Anyway, but that could be for another video. This was just a component overview. I hope it gave you a good idea of the components, how they are, the art style. Again, to each their own. I think it's fine. I think it's quite good. I think it's nice for the family weight of the game. And with that, I want to thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.